Hello and welcome back to another fudge cake video. Today for you, we've got a little bit of a mishap, so let me just explain. Basically, everybody who I know that is starting up a YouTube channel with gaming, they want to get themselves an Elgato, be it a HD Pro, HD 360 Pro, or whatever version of the Elgato that they want. They want to get one so they can record their gameplay and have a really clear resolution on their videos. But before you buy yourself an Elgato, here is one very important thing you need to know. If you are anything like me, you will read the requirements on the Elgato site before you buy yourself one, and not a lot of it will make sense because there's a lot of numbers, digits, letters, and all of that kind of stuff that you don't really understand. Well, one of the requirements is that your PC must have an i5 or i7 CPU, which basically means if you don't have one, what you're seeing in the background will happen to you. So you've already forked out over £100 for an Elgato, or depending where you got it from or what country you're in, but you need to fork out for another £140 in English pounds to get yourself the i5 or the i7 CPU. On top of that, you might not have Norton, which is a very good antivirus software. I have this, and I'm so lucky that I do, because it has told me that there is high CPU usage on my PC when I'm, one, using the Elgato, and two, using VideoPad, which is what I use to edit my videos. If you don't have Norton, you will not be warned that your CPU usage is high, and it can be very damaging if you're using the wrong CPU for the software that you are using. So as I said, in the background you can see some sort of jittery gameplay, or the screen goes a little bit glitchy and all of that kind of stuff. Now if you make montages, this is not so much of a problem. If, you know, you can just cut around them, edit around them and all of that kind of stuff. It can be frustrating, but there is, with a lot of patience, a way around it. However, as I said, if you don't have Norton, you might not know how much usage is going on your CPU. As I said, I don't know a lot about this. I'm not a computer genius, but I found out recently it's actually breaking my PC to use this kind of stuff. So whereas I can work around the certain things because I tend to edit out a lot of clips, it's actually breaking my PC. So I won't be able to use my Elgato until I get the i5. Also, when I get the i5, it's about fitting the i5, because I've watched tutorials and they look very complicated, and you have to actually go onto your motherboard, which is what I suspected when I first looked it up. A lot of people told me that you don't have to, but yes, you do actually have to go into your PC to fit it, and it's very complicated. If you put it in wrong, it can break, the whole thing can just crash on you. So it's very important that you know what you're doing before you buy yourself an Elgato. Now, you may already have bought your Elgato, and you might have a PC that backs up the software. Also, what you need to know, which a lot of people, and I see this very frequently, when you're setting up your Elgato, before you plug it in, so when your PS4 or Xbox 360 or whatever is plugged into your TV, it will be connected by a HDMI cable. Before you do that, you want to head over to your settings, and you want to set the HCDP, or HDCP, sorry, you want to set that to off, so untick the click box. If it's on PS4, it's pretty simple to do. Before you plug in your Elgato, your screen will turn off for a second, and then there will be no signal, and then hopefully it will boot up properly. If it keeps going from one to the other, it means that you haven't done it in, I don't know, before you've done the Elgato, so you haven't done it quick enough, or there's a bit of a connection issue with your HDMI. Once you have set your HDCP to off, you then have to unplug your HDMI cable and make sure that the cables are quite short. The longer the cable, the more issues I've found with the connection. So make sure you have short HDMI cables. When you order an Elgato, it comes with one spare, it comes with one HDMI cable, and that is to go into the Elgato. The other one is to go from the Elgato to the TV. So make sure you've turned that off before you put the Elgato in. I know this drove me absolutely crazy. I didn't understand what was going on. Another thing to note when using an Elgato, especially one that I have, which is the HD Pro, you want to make sure that you then switch the HDCP back on if you want to do things like watch TV. So if you want to go onto BBC iPlayer, or even if you want to go onto YouTube or Now TV, or any applications that is to watch TV or videos, you must turn it back on beforehand, and again your screen will turn off, so there'll be no signal. So for instance, my screen goes blue, and then it will turn back on again. Give it a second. And as I said, if it is switching from on to off and on to off, all you have to do is unplug your Elgato and plug the HDMI straight from your PS4 to your TV back in. The last thing you need to know is that with PS4s, there has been a proven issue that if you keep unplugging the HDMI outside the back of the PS4, it will over time wear down and you will not be able to get a secure connection. I've had this problem personally, and I've seen there was a massive thing on the news a while ago. So make sure if you are going to keep unplugging and plugging in your Elgato, you don't actually sever the connection from the back of the PlayStation to the HDMI cable, but it's okay to sever the connection from the HDMI to the Elgato or to the TV. So this was just a quick video. Well, it wasn't really quick, let's be honest. This was just a video to let you know and to prepare you if you are going to buy yourself an Elgato. I see so many people in forums saying that they just bought themselves an Elgato, didn't read the requirements or anything like that. Also, if you're using Mac, you're more likely to have a built-in i5 or i7 core processor, so you should be okay. Also, you need either a dual core or a quad core processor, just so that you can plug it in as well, because if it's single then obviously it will come with what is built in with the PC. When it comes to actually putting in the i5 or the i7 processor, you want to make sure you're not actually unplugging anything and it is an empty slot that you get to plug it into. So if I have helped just one person out there, don't forget to hit the like button. It's literally just to let you know what you need before you buy yourself an Elgato instead of afterwards, because we both know that it can be very, very frustrating. I don't have a lot of patience, so frustration is the high point of my life right now. But hopefully I'll be getting an i5 soon, so my gameplay will have better quality and I will no longer have to use Share Factory. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button, and always for more, subscribe. Peace.
KIA. Connect. Reaper down.